My name is Christy, and if you're watching this, it's because of one question. It's not because of YouTube, it's a life question. You have reached a certain point and you're asking yourself, do I have enough? And if I don't, is it too late to do anything about it? Or am I going to have to work until the grave? I'm not going to waste your time. This is going to be super short. I'm going to try to keep it less than 28 minutes, 30 minutes, somewhere around there. I'm going to give you a roadmap for everything before I even ask you for anything. Probably asking, what is this workshop? What is it not? So the first thing I want to tell you, I'm not here to try to talk you into being an influencer or to go viral or doing some crazy dance on TikTok or documenting your whole life on video. That is not what this is about. This is about ordinary people, somebody who is at our age. We're in the later part of life. We're not 15, we're not 25, and we're looking for something that is going to stand, and it's not something that we're going to have to just trade our time for dollars. This is something that's going to stay with you. So once you make it, it's actually going to be what we call a digital asset. Just know this, by the end of this workshop, you're going to have a roadmap for what you need to do without ever spending a dime with me. You don't have to spend it with me. Look, there are enough videos on YouTube that you could do it by yourself. I wouldn't recommend it unless you have all the time in the world and you just want to watch video after video. It's confusing. You'll go down that black hole. Trust me, I've been there. So I'm doing this to try to help people to get to the bottom and just get going, hit the ground running. So here's the thing that's important and why I started doing this. I am a chiropractor, and I don't know if you know any chiropractors, but we cannot work on the phone. So my presence is required for me to be in front of another person in order for me to make a living. And I love it. I love being a chiropractor. It's definitely my passion and my mission in my life. But when I had children, I realized that if my children do not want to be a chiropractor, it stops with me. There's nothing for me to leave from my children. When it's over, it's over. So I wanted something that I could pass to them because they have expressed to me they don't want to be a chiropractor. So I wanted something to give to them that could keep continuing. That's the whole reason for this, my whole adventure with YouTube. I've tried multi-level marketing. I've tried Amazon. I have tried drop shipping. I've tried crypto. I've tried Forex trading. I've tried a little bit of everything. It wasn't until I found YouTube that I realized that this is something that I could truly teach and pass to my children so that they would have a digital asset in the future. I touched on this a little bit in the last slide, but it's really important. And if you have a job similar to mine, you know that when you stop working, it stops. That there are two kinds of jobs. There's a job where you trade time for dollars, or the second one, which is asset based, is you stop, but it keeps going. And that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about something that you're investing in that's going to pay long term. This can be in the way of retirement savings. It can be in the way of real estate. It can be a lot of different things, but today we're going to be talking about digital assets. We're going to talk about retirement and three different things here. First of all, people are living a lot longer than they were 100 years ago. That's a fact. Inflation. Inflation is a real thing, and inflation does not match the numbers that we plan for our retirement. Also, getting a late start. Things didn't work out. You weren't able to put savings aside. We're looking at three different things here. You may know this number here. So let's say you have 3,000, we're just going to use this number, 300,000 in savings. So most of the planners, the investment planners, they're going to say you can take out 4% of a withdrawal rate. That is 1,000 times 12. So that's 12,000 a year. So you want to check that? So 4% of 300,000 is 12,000 a year. Which feels more possible to you? Saving $300,000 or building one thing that pays 1,000 a month? So either way, you've got to get either the savings or you've got to generate something that's going to build long term. So let's go on. The harsh reality is this. because now they say, oh, you don't have to retire at 65, you can stay till 70. So they just say work longer. That's not a plan, that's postponements. Either way, you're still going to be trading time for money. Now we're getting on to the good stuff here. One thing about YouTube that is really cool, YouTube is not social media. No, when you think social media, you think Facebook, you think TikTok, you think Instagram, but YouTube is different. When you look at YouTube, you're actually looking at a searchable library. You can look and find videos that are 15 years old. You can look and find videos that document just about anything and everything that you want. So you're looking at a digital asset. You're looking at building a shelf space. Okay, this is a shelf space library. So let's talk about YouTube. YouTube earns in different ways, and this is where it just can be endless. You can earn from ads. That's what they call Google AdSense, and Google, which is the owner of YouTube, will put ads on your videos, and that's called ad revenue. This is really just the icing on the cake. This is the least of everything when you look at it across the whole scale. The second thing is affiliate income. Affiliate income is pretty cool. So, like, let's say you use a product and you want to do a video on that product, you put a link on there, and you can make money that way. Another way is through sponsorships. Once your channel grows, you will get emails from people who want to sponsor a video, or they want to be the showcase on your video so that they can get people to go to their business. So it's another form of like an affiliate, but it's direct and they actually pay you for it. Number four, this one's where it gets really cool. If you are, let's say you're a coach and or you're, like a chiropractor or you're a health coach or you're real estate or any kind of course or anything that you do or you want to sell, this is where the products, you can put links to your store, links to your products, links to your course. This is something that really takes it off of YouTube and is not dependent on YouTube anymore. This is also important that you can start monetizing your channel even before you reach the threshold with YouTube in order to make the ad revenue. So you don't have to have that minimum threshold with YouTube to start making money. You can start earlier. And the fifth one, this one is really cool because if you're at my age, you know things that these 20 and 30-year-olds don't know. So think about it. Back when you were in your 20s and 30s, what do you wish that you had known then that you know now that you could share to your younger self? This is really cool because you can make a whole channel around it and it's coming from you. It's unique. Nobody can copy it. It's your personality. But that's only if you want to be on camera. It is not required. Okay. My first channels were not with me on camera and they've done great. They don't even depend on me. So now we're going to talk about that as far as doing faceless channels. So this is when it's like a documentary or a how-to or some type of video, but it does not have an actual person on camera. It does not depend on the creator's face. That's what they call faceless, okay? Now here we go. We can show just some different topics of things that you could do. How to and repair. I don't know, maybe you're a gardener and you want to show people how you do gardening. It could be anything. Maybe you're into crafts. Maybe you just know something that other people don't know. That's a type of channel that you could do even without you on camera. You can do it, but it's an interest of something that you like. Personal finance is another thing. Local and regional history. You could do a documentary channel on that. Health and caregiving. Faith, family, and craft. Hobbies and machines. The list goes on. I have a sheet that has a list of 100 niches and some sub niches, which we talk about that more in my course, that helps you to narrow it down. Because when you come out of this, a lot of times people say, well, I don't even know what to start. Well, you have to start somewhere and you need a guide, and that's what we talk about in my program. 5 things stopping you. I've heard all 5. This one at the top is the one that I hear the most, and it's really sad because until you have left this life No time is too late. I mean, I think about this, and there's so many stories of people who started their journey late in life. They didn't find out who they were. They published books when they were in their 80s. Or I think about Colonel Sanders with Kentucky Fried Chicken. I always think about him. He was determined to get his chicken out, and he went to I don't know how many places. I can't remember the number now, but the bottom line is this. Think about it. You are at a time in your life that you know more now than you've ever known when you were in your 20s and 30s. To me, I look at it as a mission. It's our duty to share these things. So you're not too old for this. You don't ever think that you're too old for this. You can do this. I love to see channels with people that are older. I mean, to me, it gives such knowledge and experience that you do not get from somebody who's 25. It's just a different way of looking at things. So look at it more like a mission. You are not too old for this. You think I'm not technical. Well, I'm not really technical either. I have learned a lot. You will be surprised at the things that you can learn if you set your mind to it, if you decide you want to do it. I will never make my course too technical. And get this, it's called delegation. If you don't know how to do it, but you have somebody guiding you, you can do it. You just give it to somebody else and you oversee the creative part of it. So there's always a way around this. Okay, this is another one. And this was me in the beginning. I did not want to be on camera. I am not somebody who likes to take pictures. I am not somebody who likes to be on camera. I'm actually a very private person, which doing this, you may not think that. So things have changed a little bit, but you don't have to. Most of the people that I know that do YouTube do not have a face channel. Do not think that you have to be on camera. The next one is I would not know what to talk about. Okay, we talked about that a little bit on the last one. And this is one that I go over in my boot camp and my 10-day launch, which helps you because this is the number one most important part of your whole process of starting YouTube, and that is picking your niche. And that's what I talk about. I have a whole system that helps you to narrow it down. I help you to get through that. I realize this is definitely the biggest hurdle in every single course that I've been through with other people doing YouTube courses. They get stumped at this part right here. And this is the part that I want to help you to get past this part because once you get past this, everything else is easy. It pretty much is. Then you just set everything into motion. And one thing I want to say this too is with YouTube, you can do more than one thing. You're not locked in to do one niche. This is one thing I really want to get across. I'm always experimenting. I'm always doing research. I'm always testing new things. So don't think that you're stuck in one thing. You can always pivot, or you can move on to something else, or you can do it simultaneously. We're going to go into this a little bit deeper. So again, going back to I'm too late. What are you too late for? Okay, if you want to be like a crazy viral sensation, you might be late for that, but who knows? I don't know. Maybe there's some 60, 70-year-olds that are viral. I don't know. But the thing is that if you wait till tomorrow, you are getting later because we don't know how much time we have left. So I would say time is of the essence, and to get on it today versus waiting until tomorrow, next week, next year. I don't know how many people that I talk to who don't take action and they think things are going to get better or they think things are going to change. It won't change until you actually do something. So we're moving along pretty quickly, a lot quicker than I thought. And now we're to the best part. Here we are. We're at the roadmap. So here's the thing that we talked about. How do you build a digital asset? What is the process? There are 6 things that really need to be looked at. There are other things, and everything is laid out in my course. It's very specific. Here's the thing that's the most important. I go back to it. I talked about it before, is choosing the niche. There is a process on how to do this. And if you don't do it the right way, you will be sadly mistaken, and it can be not a nice process. The key is to know how to do the research to narrow down your niche so that you're not diving into what they call a red ocean full of other competitors where you just disappear and YouTube never even pushes what you put out. You could have the best video in the world, the best editing, the best, content, everything. But if you're in a niche that is saturated, nobody will ever see it. So I have a process. And first I give you, like I said, 100 niches just to give you an overview to get your brain going. And then I go through how to narrow it down. Super important, because if you do it this way, you will start to see the things that pop out and come to the surface that will be good niches that have a high demand, and people are actually looking for these things, and you will be the one to be able to deliver it. So that's number one. The second thing, we're going to talk about how to set up your channel. I'm going to tell you what things that I would recommend, what things I would not recommend. Tell you how to do your brand. This stuff is so easy now. Let me tell you one little thing. So I started doing YouTube. I didn't know what I was doing. This was in 2022. There was no AI. There were no script writers. There were some things, but they were not like they are now. I mean, now is so much easier. Oh my gosh, it has taken me to a totally different level. One other thing, I stink at creativity when it comes to drawing and any kind of design. I would go on Fiverr. If you don't know what Fiverr is, I remember going on Fiverr. I would have to find a graphic artist, and I would pay them to create my logo. I would pay them to create my banner. I would pay them to do my little intro. I paid for everything through Fiverr, and it was great. I mean, I was willing to do it. I couldn't see things. I'm not that type of person. I'm a left brain kind of person. I'm not as much right brain. I'm very book oriented and analytical. So I could not really express that. But now, oh my gosh, now with Claude AI and ChatGPT, any type of AI that you have, it takes the things in your brain and puts it out in front of you. And then when you see some different examples, then you're able to use that without having to pay somebody else. So it's super cool. So the next thing is creating the content. Again, here we go again. I used to have script writers, and I would give them the idea. It would take them 2 or 3 days. They would come back with something. We would have to fix it. I just didn't have time to do the scripts. I could have done it because I love writing. I just didn't have the time. But now you can do all of this in just a split second. So you can create the content if you want to do it, or you can still get script writers. It's up to you. And then also the next thing is number 4. So publish consistently. And with publishing, you need to know based off of the niche that you found, based off of your research, you need to have a system that helps you to outline when you will post, and you have a program. It's just like when you go to work. You go to work Monday through Friday, you work from 8 to 5 or whatever it is. When you have a channel, you have a calendar that you follow. So it could be once a week, it could be once a month, it could be 3 times a week, it could even be daily. So you just need to know how and what to do. Number 5, this one is really important. So once your channel starts to take off, you need to be able to understand the data and the analytics, because inside of YouTube in the studio where the creators go, you have analytics. You need to understand it, and I will help you with that, because you need to know what's working, what's not working. There's so many different tools that you can use that make it super simple. And if you go on YouTube, you're going to be like, if you go on there trying to do research, you're going to go down a big black hole. I'm not saying that everything that I do is 100% the best way to do it. I just know from my experience what I have learned, what I've used, and how I analyze things. And that's what I'm going to help you to shortcut this and give it to you so that you can do it yourself. And number 6, this one is the best part. And if you can do it from the beginning, it frees your mind. So scaling and delegating. So when you scale and delegate, if you're like me, I want to do a lot of different niches. I don't want to just put myself into one thing. I throw out a lot of fishing lines, and I want to see what comes back to me. So, but that's where I am. I do multi-channels. Right now, I'm working on 10, 11 channels. And that's just me. I'm looking at a portfolio, a multi-digital asset portfolio, something that I can hand to my children later. This is something you can do just one channel or you can do multi-channels. I'm here to help you to do whatever it is that you want to do. Now we're here at the end. You've seen the roadmap. It's very simple, straightforward. Of course, there are things that you need to learn. The key here is everybody gets stalled in the same place. It's not that they get stuck on step 4, they get stuck before step 1. It goes back to those myths, those doubts, and they just cannot get going. They never choose. This is why I started this program. I've been in other mentor programs, and every person that I have met in there that did not have a channel, they could not get their niche chosen. It's so frustrating. They don't do anything. And so they spend all this money, and I'm talking months, years later, they never got out of the gate. They never choose. So I am here to help you to go from zero to launch so that you can see some kind of movement. This is the most important thing here. The other thing is this: when you do things alone, you don't know if what you're seeing is good, if it's bad. You just don't know because you don't have the experience. But when you have someone looking over your shoulder who says, "Hey, you know what? This looks good. Just hold on." You give up. You just don't know. And this is the thing. I don't know if you've ever seen that picture of the miner that's going in the tunnel and he's hacking at it, and the tunnel is this long. I mean, it's like super long. And you're looking at it from the side view, and you see that at the end of it, there's just like this much more left of the wall. He was trying to find the gold, but you can see him turning around and going back out. That picture has always been in my mind. It's like you just cannot give up because you never know that just around the corner, just on the other side, is something waiting for you. You just need to know what you're looking at and have the encouragement to keep going so that you can reach the results that you start beginning trying to achieve. This workshop, we're at the end. I cannot build your channel in one workshop. I did give you a basic roadmap, so I did come through with my promise. What I can do is help you. And so what I have done is I have done a 10-day channel boot camp that I have set up. And this is to help you to go from an idea to actually being ready to launch. And I will help you, I will hold your hand from the beginning until the end. So day 1 and 2, you're going to check out you're going to find your niche, you're going to decide, you're going to set up your channel, you're going to have your brand, you're going to have your video topics, you're going to have your editors in place. If you don't have editors, I have editors that are working to help me to get this project launched. There is no excuse for you not to be able to go from zero to launch and get something out within 10 days. So if this sounds like something that you want to do and you're interested in, I encourage you to send me a message, reach out to me, join my Skool group, and you can do it. So what will you get with my YouTube 10-day launch? You're going to get 10 days of instruction, holding your hands. You're going to get templates. You're going to get checklists. You're going to get question and answer sessions inside the Skool group. You're going to have a community so that you can bounce ideas off. Let me tell you, I have met more people on my YouTube journey that I still talk to. And I think that's the best part. If you meet somebody at the same level as you, or maybe one step ahead, it can help you. You can work together. I really love being accountable and having a partner and having somebody to bounce ideas off. In fact, my partner with this group is somebody I met with another group, and we had our own mastermind, and we decided we wanted to do something together so that we can help others who were in the same place that we were. Okay, before you decide, I really want to go through these questions here because it's really important. What does it cost to get started? It does not cost much, okay? And you can, if you want to do these on your own and do a phase channel, it costs nothing really. You just have your phone and you can use a simple editor if you want to do that. I'm talking about more like faceless channels, and so we will talk about that more in the program. It depends on what type of channel you do, what type of editing, but it doesn't cost as much as you think. But yes, it is an investment, and it is something that is, if you want good quality, you will have to invest something into it. How many hours a week is it going to take? The first month is obviously the hardest and the heaviest because you're learning something that you don't know. You need to have at least 5 hours a week minimum. If you're not going to put 5 hours in, it's probably not going to be the right thing for you because you need to understand why you're doing things and you need to put things in action. I do give you checklists and sheets to help you to get through it, but you need to actually implement it. How long is it going to take to earn something? Who knows? I cannot give you an answer to that. I can tell you from my own experience. I have channels that have taken me months to get monetized. I have channels that have gotten monetized in 7 days. So everything is up to the algorithm, it's up to the topic that you choose. There is nobody that can give you an answer to this 100%. But with consistency, reevaluating the analytics that you have and having somebody to help you, you can launch faster than if you try to do it on your own. So what if you try and it doesn't work? Okay, well, guess what? There are a lot of things that you try and they don't work. And you can either give up or you can pivot and you can do something else. I have done multiple channels before I knew what I was doing years before, and then I decided to buckle down and actually learn it. But I never had anybody helping me over my shoulder. It's when I did that that I was able to take my questions and get answers and get to the next level. So what's it going to be? So you can keep working, you can trade time for money, or you can do something with YouTube and take a chance, and you never know what you might come out with. Click the link. I'll see you on the other side. If you have any questions or anything, just send me a message. Thanks and have a blessed day.